So it's come to my attention, a lot of you kids are just completely broke and seemingly don't know what to do. I wanted to make a list of ideas that could potentially help you and give you my guidance on what I would do if I were completely broke and what I have done when I had no money. Because having no money sucks. And having no money sucks because you don't even have money to pay for a course to teach you how to make money. That's the worst position to be in. And especially if you have parents that don't support your basic desire to get untraditionally successful, it's like, it sucks. So I made a list here of things that I've actually done that can help you make your first $10,000 even if you're in college. I started my first job. Let me just I'll retrace my steps and hopefully they'll be somewhere along this train of thought that'll help you guys come up with some ideas. My very first job was when I was about 15. I went to my neighbor's house and it was fall, autumn time and a bunch of sticks in the grass and I offered to pick up the sticks and she paid me a whopping $5 an hour. So wow. There's one way to start, literally landscaping, light level landscaping, and that was, you just walked over to my neighbor's house, say, hey, pick up your sticks, $5 an hour, and that's what I did. My next job was for that same neighbor. I played piano growing up. I had lessons from like age 7 to age 15, really good at piano, and I offered to teach that same neighbor piano for now $10 for a 30-minute lesson, and she obliged, and I made $10 per 30-minute lesson once a week. I might have been a little younger. I think that actually might have been when I was like 12 or 13. Either way, took a skill and offered to provide it in exchange for money. These are gonna get progressively a little bit more stimulating, I promise. Okay, here's the next one. I got a job at a restaurant and I was a busboy and I was averaged out to about $10 an hour. So I'd go to work at 8 a.m., I'd finish at 2, and I'd make about $60 and I would get a free breakfast. So I'd make $60 a day and I saved up probably $1,100 from that point. Then my house got robbed. Some guy came in my house and actually stole all the money. After that, I became a caddy. I was a caddy for 4 years. Caddying is an incredible job. Probably the top job I recommend if you're between the ages of 15 to 18 and you have no skills. And you go to a fancy golf course that has a caddy program and you can make anywhere from $50 a day to about $300 a day. The A caddies are gonna make $200 to $300 a day. I was a C caddy at first and I worked my way up to a B, then a B double. B double is when you're basically a really experienced caddy, but you're not that good at reading greens. And you carry 2 bags at a time for like probably ultra wealthy guys. So you're hanging out with multimillionaires, you're getting exercise, carrying bags for 18 holes, it's like 4 hours, and sometimes you're running up for caddying. I actually recently, I went back to that same golf course and I got a caddy and I asked the caddy what the highest tip a caddy had ever received was, and I tipped him, I was with Jordan Greenfield, who's the founder of Hoobie. We tipped him $800.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a day for that kid.
So the most I ever made was $300, and that was for a four-person 4 caddy with Mr. Callahan. Shout out Mr. Callahan. If you get like a rich guy who just likes you and you work really hard and you try to learn how to read the greens, and a 4 caddy, you don't carry any bags, they drive in golf carts and you run ahead on the golf course to see where their balls go and you spot all their balls, and if you're good and you don't lose any of their balls and you clean their balls for them and you fondle their balls, then that's good. So yeah, you make anywhere from $50 to $300 a day. It's a great job. It's also like brotherhood. Like it actually is low key like a tribe. You're out in the sun, you're out in nature, great job. We've covered landscaping, light level landscaping. You can obviously do serious landscaping and like actually sign up for a landscaping company and probably make a lot more, but that's an option. You don't need any prior skills. You just need to be able to move mulch, basically. So I was really good at videos. I took a skill that I had. I basically started just going around to businesses in my town. I didn't use Facebook. I didn't do cold outreach. I had a gym. I went to the owner of the gym that I was going to at the time when I was like 17. I was like, hey, I make videos. I can make you guys a video for the gym. $300. Simple. Nothing you have to like design a contract for. Say, I'm gonna make you a video, you give me $300. Done. That's it. You know, you just have a skill set you're already good at. You can do this with Photoshop, web design, local businesses though. And the reason I say local is because you sort of have the leverage and the advantage of benefit of the doubt that you're like a good kid from the town, from the local high school who they're sort of giving business to. It's just good that way. So I did that for the gym in my town. I did real estate videography, like drone photography. So I went to like architects in the town. I'd like show up to their business or I'd email them and I'd say, hey, like I have a drone. I know how to use drone video. You're an architect, you're a home designer, whatever. I'll do a drone video, get you some pictures. Here's the deliverables, $500. And I probably did about 4 or 5 jobs. You can take a skill that you have, or you could just learn how to make videos. You know, making videos it's not that hard. You know, you can.
It's pretty easy to learn.
Yeah, you can teach yourself. You don't need to buy a course. You know, you can. The point of this video right now is to show you how you can make your first $10,000 without buying a course. So all this stuff you can just go on YouTube. Probably at 18, I taught myself Facebook ads, and I started doing Facebook ads for companies. I guess you could call this an agency, but it was more realistically like, it was so informal. It was like, hey, I know how to set up Facebook ads, I'll set up your Facebook ads. And that was it. I charged very little, like nothing complicated. It was like $300 to $500 or maybe upwards of $1,000 for a month. Yeah, it's not that much money, you know, for businesses that are making a lot more than that. And again, I just did it with people local in my town. Anything else I missed, Jack?
No, but all those things help you build skills so that now it's like when you do hire someone that...
Yeah, well, that's the other part of it. It's like you're learning skills, but you're making a little money. If you do any of those things within a couple months of doing it, you can make $5,000 to $10,000 in a year, probably at least a couple grand. And then with that money, invest in a course like Tribe Accelerator, invest in a course like any of those other higher level things, like learning sales, Closer Cartel, Luke Alexander, Agency Navigator, any Shopify course. You have your existing simple regular job, your parents aren't down your back, and then you take all that money and you invest it into a course that teaches you how to make real money.
Also, just don't spend your money on stupid shit.
Yeah, don't buy stupid shit. Like, take the money and invest in networks like Tribe Accelerator, invest in Hustlers University, invest in Warren, like do all that. And that's where then you just continue to learn. When you don't have any money, your best investment is you. So you just got to keep putting it back into the you funnel and learning more skills. That's pretty much it for now. If you guys want me to talk about that more, I'm happy to. I do plan to talk a lot more about business. That's how to make your first $10,000, even if you're in college. Comment down below, what are some things, some strange ideas you've had similar to what I shared with you, just to give people more ideas so we can run through, and I'll read all of them and I'll see like what you guys have done in the past to make money. And I'm actually particularly curious if anyone for some reason watched this who's more successful, what you did when you were younger to make money. Because it is interesting reflecting back, and I'm realizing, damn, I was a restaurant server, I was a caddy, I did landscaping, I taught piano, I did videos, I did drone videos. When I talk to people, especially in the DMs on Instagram, and they tell me they don't have money, I'm like, now you don't have an excuse, we can just send you this video. Here's the last thing I'll say too, is if you don't have money to buy a course, you can just get a credit card. You can get approved for $3,000 credit, and you can use that credit, 0% interest for 12 months, and you can buy a course on the credit card. And then you can get your job and pay off the credit card. Or you use what skills you learned from that course to make money, and then boom. Another question I get is like, how do you focus on one of these things and like actually do it? You need to do some basic goal setting, manifestation, and the reason I say basic is because you shouldn't go overboard with this stuff. It's very simple. Get a plain piece of paper, write down 10 things that you want. The first one should be great relationships with my family and friends. The second one should be I want to make $10,000 this year. The third one can be whatever, really. As long as you have 4 or 5 goals written out on a piece of paper, and you stick it next to your bed. It could be a note card or a piece of paper. Stick it next to your bed, take the note card, put it in your pocket, carry it with you all the time. Just do that. Don't do anything else. Don't do any visualization. Just look at the card, read it before bed, read it when you wake up. Just 4 or 5 goals, put it on a piece of paper, and that is a very important part. And don't overcomplicate that stuff either, because I've gone down the rabbit hole of getting super weird with the manifestation stuff and it's being very imbalanced. Just stick to that. And if you can stick to that, you can probably stick to the goals. Simple scales. You've probably heard Alex Ramosi say this. Simple scales. Don't try to overcomplicate it. And yeah, that's it. All right, we're gonna go to a temple. All right, I feel like I gotta start from scratch.
Yeah. Whoa.
I've studied a little bit about Hinduism, read Autobiography of a Yogi, but it's like there's just a whole other billion people who believe in multiple gods, and they're very nice. We were praying and someone left a flower for Jack. That was nice. So we got blessed. We got blessed by the priest.
Dude, what just happened?
We got blessed. You didn't record anything in there, did you?
No, it said no recording.
Oh yeah, good, okay. All right, go that way. I know where we're going. The only thing we gotta look for is them damn rattlers. Those things will get you.
We'll be fine. We'll get them.
Well, me and Chloe were riding snakes the other weekend. We saw this big horse in the middle of the road.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, when we were riding horses, we saw a big snake. No, we were riding the horses. There was a big snake in the middle.
So what'd you do?
The lady in the front got off her horse and like started stomping her feet.
Oh.
And the snake just slithered away. I think it was a diamondback. You ready for the gold, John B?
Bring it on home.
Bring it on home, zombie! We gotta get the gold, zombie! The gold!
Almost to El Dorado.
Dude, it's on the sand.
Yeah.
Okay, we good like that,
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take the check. But yeah, we got blessed by the Indian priest.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
You're jealous?
Yeah, I'm gonna be blessed by an Indian priest.
Yeah.
India.
I'm going on a pilgrimage to New Delhi.
Yeah, he's,
From New Delhi?
Yeah.
he's going there now, honey.
Are you?
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. Yep, he's packing his bags. That's cool, honey.
How'd that happen? How'd you come into that experience?
There was a giant Indian temple and we just walked in and we got blessed by a priest. Oh, hold on. Jordan's calling me. I'll put you on hold. Hey, Jordan.
Arlin, what are you doing?
Hey, Jordan. I'm just, me and Jack just had some food at the beach.
Hey,
And
Jordan.
There's Jack.
Hey, Jack. I didn't realize how close you were to Todd and Natalie's house. You only live 4 minutes from them. I'm going to this dinner right now. I gotta go to West Hollywood, but...
Who's the dinner with?
It's just the giveaway winners for Harry's thing.
Oh, cool. All right, well, have fun. I'll talk to you later.
Alright, peace.
I bet. Hello?
Hi, honey. How's Jordan? Is he okay?
Yeah. Yeah, he's okay.
What about the baby?
He's doing good.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Why?
I don't know. He called and, I thought he had a problem.
No, he's all good.
Does he want me to go out there?
I could ask him if he wants you to come fly across the country to hang out with him. No, he's going to dinner with Harry Jowsey.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
Ever seen Too Hot to Handle?
Too Hot to Handle. It's a Netflix show. He's a Netflix star.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We're about to watch a show called The Diplomats.
Diplo?
Diplomat.
What I watched the other night was the Woodstock documentary.
Oh, cool.
that's
Woodstock.
wild.
Woodstock 1999.
1999.
Did you know what happened?
That's the wrong year.
Did you know what happened? Yeah, it was the wrong year. Do you know what happened in Woodstock 99?
No, I do not.
Does Dad know?
Woodstock.
Dad, you never heard of Woodstock?
No.
What? Woodstock? Yeah, it was in 1969.
No, they tried to redo it in 1999.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Why is it such a disaster?
Well, because in 1990s, the late 90s, it was all like punk metal. and they tried to host Woodstock, which is like a peace concert on an Air Force base in Rome, New York, in 100-degree heat with heavy metal bands.
And they didn't give them water or
And they didn't give the kids like shelter, water, or anything.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I don't remember this.
And it was like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and all these punk rock bands doing
It's really fun to watch.
doing head knocking.
We should have taken you there when you were a baby.
You're right, I was 3.
Why didn't we think of that?
Something tells me I wouldn't have been thinking about doing it now if you'd brought me.
Okay, well, I'll let you get on with your evening.
All right, bye-bye.
Have fun. Be safe.
That's my parents.
You should have gone to Woodstock when you were 3.
I know, dude. Damn. Biggest regret. See how it kind of goes with the, like the smoky mixed with the Coca-Cola? There you go.
Getting the hang of it. My mom would not be proud.
With this, you just keep it in your mouth.
Yeah. Does it matter how long you keep it in your mouth?
Like that.
Yeah. Sick.
I'll have one cigar like every 3 months. They actually raise testosterone. You gotta learn this stuff though. I guarantee you in Europe this summer, someone's gonna be like, hey, let's go to the lounge. And if you don't know what you're doing, you just look like a pussy.
Yeah.
They're really good for conversation. You get a buzz. It's sort of like having a beer or two. It's
Gotcha.
kind of the equivalent. Smoke it a little harder, like rip it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
It's 50 Nick, bro.
If you don't want to smoke it too fast, if you smoke it too fast, you'll get lightheaded and you'll feel sick. But you also don't want to smoke it so slow that it goes out. One rip every like 30 to 60 seconds.
Should the brokies spend money on cigars after their $10,000 year?
I don't think you should have a cigar unless granted to you by your mentor until you've made $1 million.
Fair. Thank you for granting this to me.
Yes. Otherwise, it would be silly. I had to get in there. I had to get in there and just
What?
2 left socks. She gave me 2 left socks. I had to go change them. Stupid.
Well, now we have audio.
Yeah, good.
What are we doing?
Well, I read the morning qualms this morning, or the morning paper. Apparently there was a virgin who was supposed to get married, but she's not a virgin on her wedding night, so we're gonna go stone her.
گناه این دختر هرزه بگذر. ببخش.
Look at that old. That's like the. Is that a Ferrari? That's like the cerebral palsy Ferrari from the Wall Street.
Oh yeah, we're just like climbing into the car.
Okay, so I've been on this truth-seeking journey, discovering Christianity, the Bible, Islam, Judaism, all of them, and last night I came to the full 100% exalting conclusion that Jesus Christ was a real person, that he died on the cross, and that he was resurrected.
Yep, I'm throwing up the text right now on the screen.
Dude, I texted you, I texted 2 or 3 other friends,
Yeah.
and I still believe it. I do believe that. So I do believe, and I also researched, I show you my history of my YouTube videos the last weeks. It's just like 2-hour podcast after 2-hour podcast. I'm also reading books. You know, I read Josh McDowell's More Than a Carpenter. I've been reading lots of different texts on this stuff. And I've been studying this for like 8 years. Since I was in freshman year of college, I've been studying this stuff because I had friends that were Christian and I was an atheist, and I was trying to show them how ridiculous their religion was. So I was reading all of Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens. So I've been around the whole spectrum, but I finally was like, all right, I'm gonna just open mind. And where I'm at now is I do believe that Jesus died on the cross and he was resurrected. I think the evidence is actually irrefutable that this actually happened. Muslims think one of 2 things. One, either it wasn't actually Jesus that died on the cross, that like God, Allah arranged it so that it was Judas who died on the cross. Jesus somehow escaped into heaven before the crucifixion or something like that. Curious in the comments what you guys think of this. If there's Muslims who watch me, if there's Christians, curious what you guys think here. It's all love. Muslims believe that option 2 is that Jesus actually didn't die on the cross, that it was a crucifixion. Basically that they never fully checked, the Romans never fully checked if he was dead, and so that he basically was in a coma or something like a coma, so that when he was put into the tomb, he was able to just get up a few days later and just leave. And that it was kind of like a, yeah. No matter, I looked at many different back and forths, I can't buy that. One, if Jesus claimed to be the Son of Man, the Son of God, to be the Messiah, then Muslims believe he's a liar, unless they don't believe the Bible. But they do refer to the book of the people of the book. Jesus is either a liar or the Bible is false. I don't know, that's a little bit of a confusing one right there. The other one is that if you look at how crucifixion works, like, and how Jesus's crucifixion was historically documented and how it went, you know what happened with like the lashings?
As he was going up to the crucifixion?
Well, before that, they put his hands on like a handcuffed thing, and so his back was exposed and he was naked and in front of the whole town. Everyone's watching, and they had these leather whips, and in the leather whips there were like leather wound up balls, and in those there were shards of metal.
Ow.
So they were whipping him with these whips that had metal and bone, and they ripped so his whole back, he had no skin on his body basically anymore. They ripped all his skin off, and then he had to carry the cross with the help of Cyril, I think was his name, or Simon, I forget. So then what they did is they drive spikes through your wrists right there, not through your hand, through your wrists, and then they drive them through your feet. The reason they do that is because when you're up there and you need to breathe, you have to like use your feet as leverage to lift up so that you can like inhale and exhale. And then what they did with Jesus is they put a death blow and they put a spear through his heart.
Yikes. Because he's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
There's no...
If that's true, he's dead.
That's what happened. I mean, that's historically documented what happened, right? Okay. By the eyewitnesses of the crucifixion. You either can just say those are unreliable, whatever. So anyway, so I believe that. Now, there's 3 options with Jesus. He's either a liar, Lord, meaning like he actually is God, or he's a lunatic. I don't think he's a liar. I don't think he's a lunatic, so he must be God. He must be God. So that's where I came to. I was like, man, the implications of that are crazy, because that means that everything else he said was true, and that he's going to come back, and then, you know, all this stuff. And in believing that, you can't really fully believe the Eckhart Tollean New Age spirituality argument that it's just like a metaphor, and, you know, you sort of selectively read through it, kind of how Eckhart Tolle might read through it. And this was the past couple days, and I'm just like, okay, well, here we are. Like, if you're a Christian, you understand the implications of that. It means you basically have to spend the rest of your life trying to convince other people to become a Christian and to believe in Jesus Christ, or else everyone you care about will be literally eternally damned into hell if you don't believe this. So I'm sitting there like, wow, that's a heavy weight to bear. And it's wild, man. And so then what I did is I was like, you know what, let me just see something. So here I am, full Christian. I go into my notes app and I type in Sam Harris, and I find a text.
Isn't he the guy that doesn't believe in Christianity?
Yeah, I find a text file from January 17th, 2016. This is 7 years ago, when I was in a religious debate with my Christian friend Ken about why I think Christianity is essentially retarded. And I read through this argument, and I started watching Sam Harris again, and I was just pulled right back down to the ground, bro. I was just like, bro, there's no way that this book...
Your younger self just...
My younger self, dude, But here's the thing, I come from a new perspective, because I do think it's a paradox, right? Because on one hand, if you read the Bible, you can so easily, this is why I said when I first got in the car, let's go stone some virgins. You can so easily use the Old Testament to justify violence, discrimination, slavery, killing people. It says here, let me just read a few passages from the Old Testament. And now I know that it's a collective work, and the Bible's a library, and the New Testament and Jesus Christ says don't be violent to basically anybody, and you should be pacifist. Essentially a pacifist, not really, but sort of. Like, you shouldn't do exactly what the Old Testament said, but at the same time, people are basing their lives around this book. It doesn't seem like a productive thing to have that in. Hold on, let me read you a few of these passages that I noted. If your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or the wife you embrace entices you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, some of the gods of the people who are around you, whether near you or far from you, from the one end of the earth to the other, you shall not yield to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him. but you shall kill him. Your hand shall be first against him, to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. What that's saying is if someone is telling you to not believe in Jesus, that you should kill them. Even if it's your mom or your best friend, you should kill them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's.
Okay, here's another one.
Wrong.
Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain, and I will show you. Genesis 22:2. That's the story of when God was testing Abraham's faith by seeing if he would kill his only son in the name of God. And he was about to do it, but then an angel stopped him from doing it. Regardless, it's like, come on. That's wild, bro. I don't know. Leviticus 20:13. The passage states that if a man lies with a man as with a woman, both have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them. That is obviously about gay people. If a man lies with another man, he should be put to death. If you commit a gay act, you should be killed, according to the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 22. This passage states that if a man rapes a virgin who is not engaged, he must pay her father 50 shekels of silver and marry her.
Wow.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 23 to 24. If a man happens to meet in a town a virgin, pledged to be married, and he sleeps with her, you shall take both of them to the gate of that town and stone them to death. The young woman because she was in the town and did not scream for help, and the man because he violated another man's wife. You must purge the evil from among you. I understand, and this is where it's confusing, because I understand that Jesus came and the New Testament, he's saying you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself, and you have to love everyone and forgive them not, Father, because they have sinned. I understand that. Just because people saw Jesus in the time that he was there and he was resurrected and all that, and that he performed miracles, does that mean that we should follow this man? Does that mean that we should believe that the entire prophecy is true? I challenge that, and I challenge my Christians in the comment section to convince me otherwise, because as you can see, I have a very open mind here. I'm just trying to truth seek. If you look at Sati Sai Baba, I think he died recently, but a couple years ago, he was and is a living Indian prophet who millions of people believe is the Son of God. Millions of people worship him. They believe he was born a virgin. They believe he performs miracles. And this is a living person you can go on YouTube and look at. Millions of people believe in him. Does that mean that they are delusional? What does that mean?
What does that mean? That boy needs therapy.
I was sitting there selling turnips on a flatbed truck, crunching on a pork rind when she pulled
Mr.
up.
Hoobie!
She had to be thinking this.
Today I get to meet Noah the legend.
What's up, gangster?
Oh,
you never met Noah?
He's sleeping.
No, I haven't.
We'll wake up though. Fucking little shit. Wake up. What's up, guys?
How's the hotel?
I can't believe you fucking live
in
here.
the valley of the shadow of death, I can take rest, cause the living God is living in my chest. Every day I wake up feeling blessed, and even if I don't, I see it as a test. Cause
These guys are 1800 tree.
Yep.
Oh, these are the oranges from 1800?
Yeah.
Oh,
They've been on the
man.
tree. He waited 200 years.
To pick them, yeah. They're finally ready.
Wow.
Yeah.